yay, I don't hear myself.
Okay.
Okay. So I was saying, I think you are the glam girl of the
Okay.
two of us. And
Okay.
then you were saying you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe I was more glam than I am. I've definitely I've definitely moved away from makeup. My shift has been from makeup to skincare, which I know we'll talk about a little bit more, but um
I mean, I feel like for me, and I do see that extra Melissa here really quick. I was just trying to see if I could get rid of the extra Melissa. Um, but let's just go with this. To me, I feel like it's kind of a two-part conversation. You know, when I was thinking about it too, I originally thought like beauty, like curating beauty, but
Mhm.
then I thought that's too big of a topic because I feel like for me, beauty kind of encompasses skincare, makeup, but then also like almost supplements and also treatments, like anything you would get at a dermatologist or go to a spa to get. So this idea of beauty felt really big. And so kind of starting with the idea of spring cleaning your makeup bag seemed like a good entry point and something that I hadn't done in a very long time. And I did it too, like to prep for this. And so I thought it'd be worth just kind of grounding ourselves because we, of course, have bought a lot of makeup over the years and now less, I think for sure. I definitely spend way less on makeup than I spend on skincare. Um, so I looked up some stats. The global beauty industry is worth over $500 billion dollars. Let's get ourselves a sliver, girl, somehow.
Mhm.
Um, Anti-aging cosmetics market alone represents tens of billions annually. Women over 40 are one of the fastest growing consumer segments. And then when we think about kind of the why behind that, is that our skin does change over time, which we all know, right? But to think about it kind of it's really not dramatic necessarily, but the point is that your skin is different. So what was working in your 30s is probably not going to work as well in your 40s and definitely not in your 50s.
Mhm.
So, I feel like I can kind of like just get on my day to day and get in my kind of a rut without taking a step back and thinking about the makeup in the same way that I think about the skincare. Um, So I would say what we're talking about now isn't about just buying more, but it's about curating like we would curate our closets. And so when you looked in your bag, what are you keeping? What earned its place?
Well, let me show you my three favorites. So I have my good old standby, my Laura Mercier SPF tinted moisturizer, which I have seriously been using this for more than a decade. And I intentionally came barefaced today. At some point, I'm going to put it on for you and just show you like how amazing the stuff really is. And I find that as I get a little bit older, I'm less into color and more about just getting that sort of like dewy, sort of natural glow about. Um, and, I guess where I have a little bit of a struggle with myself is wrinkles, right? We're dealing a lot more with wrinkles and sort of like thinking about how much of those wrinkles do I try to cover up versus just let them sort of shine through and just get just a healthy glow look. But
No, for
um,
sure.
but I love this one. The shade that I use is nude, which is sort of like a medium neutral shade, and it's great because it has SPF in it. Um, you're gonna love my next one, Goop
Exosome
Beauty.
hydration therapy.
So Renee and I went to go see Gwyneth Paltrow live for one of her Goop podcasts, which was amazing. And she gifted everybody who came to the podcast recording a couple of her products, one of which was the Goop Beauty Exosome Hydration Serum. It really is a nice product. Serums aren't something that I used a lot until I got into my probably my later 30s, and I could really see the difference from using a serum before my moisturizer product. But it really truly does add a lot of hydration to my skincare routine. And then lastly, which is also a skincare product, my Tatcha Dewy Skin Moisturizer,
Girl,
which
you take a bath in that.
it is, there's not a vat big enough of this stuff. If they told me that they had like, 150 ounce, jar, I would buy it. Um, it's
Now, do you
great. It
use
really
it
is.
everywhere? Is it face, neck, whole body, or is it, tell me a little bit more?
Face and neck.
Okay.
Yeah. And also just added bonus, I usually put a little bit too much on my fingers every single time when I, apply to the face and the neck. And so I tend to like use it on my hands. I'll use the leftover on my
Yeah.
hands. And it actually like makes a huge difference with my hands because that's another place where we get wrinkles and that starts to show our age, right? Is our hands. And so I've become a little bit more self-conscious over the wrinkles on my hands.
Oh my God. No, I totally hear you. And so here, I'll share what we're in kind of an alignment here. I love the Trish McAvoy Beauty Balm. And so this is, I think, an SPF 35, and I use the shade 1. Um, Also has SPF, and the whole SPF conversation, it is a chemical sunscreen, not a mineral, and I can't use mineral sunscreens. And so that's been kind of an interesting thing for me too, is that my skin, just for whatever reason, it does not react well with the oxides, the titanium oxides, zinc oxides, any of those. So Trish, please do not change this formulation. I love it. Um, but I'm gonna have to try your Laura Mercier one. If it's, is it mineral or chemical? Do you know what the sunscreen is?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know that. I'll have to look at that and find out.
Okay, yeah, but anyway, because this is very, very, it's actually really concentrated and buildable. So, like, I used it today, um, and just put probably a pea size over my whole T zone. But then I really had to blend. And I feel like for me, it gives a lot of coverage. But I can also mix it with moisturizer and then it just goes on super lightweight. So I just, for me, it works really well to even skin tone, but it's also really versatile.
And is that the only base that you have on your face right now?
It is. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Um, I did toss, I'm jumping ahead, a concealer that was like 3 shades too light. I was like, why am I keeping this? This is nasty. Out. Um, my second ride or die is another one of our favorites, a little palette. It's the RMS Beauty.
Yes.
Um, and you'll see
Oh, I love it.
it is well worn, except I don't care for the red.
Yeah.
I've tried, and this falls into the try category. That a red lip on me, at least this one, is not my favorite, but I do love the bronzer. I love the ballet pink. This is what I have on now. And then this tiny smidge left is the like the glossing thing and then the highlighter. And so I feel like in terms of just organic, fragrance free, no artificial color, like all of it.
You got your
This
clean beauty there. I know that's
can't beat
important.
it.
Yep.
Yep.
I love it. Now, do you put the pink shade, is that on your cheeks?
Cheeks, lips.
Lips. Okay.
Yep.
I
And then
love
I did the highlighter kind of like right here, under my brow bone, and like a little bit just right there.
it. Nice. It looks
And
great.
my third is not a green product. If I had nothing else, I would have Vaseline.
Now, what do you do with the Vaseline?
Anything I need. Lips all day long. I mean, petroleum jelly, I know is like nobody thinks it's a clean product. Nope. I'm going with it. You can put it on your cheeks. You can put it on your hands. You can do anything with it. I'll put it on my elbows. I mean, I'm actually an addict. I always have my little Vaseline with me.
Okay, I
So
was not expecting that.
those those are my three. Um, And I feel like at this point in my life, I want things that multitask, you know? If I think about like what are the keepers, right? They're multitaskers. They leave me feeling refreshed and they don't require precision, kind of like you were saying, like getting older, right? Like wrinkles and stuff. I don't want anything where I'm going to feel self-conscious, like, oh, I didn't do this right. And now it ends up aging me instead of giving me the fresh look that I'm going for.
Well, that's kind of how I feel about makeup in general these days, is I feel like if you don't do it right, it can actually work um, against you
Mhm.
and age you a bit. And I feel that way, especially about like red lip colors. I don't know what it is. I mean, some people can totally pull it off, but for me, it just ends up looking like I look like a corpse. I feel like when I put on red lipstick, it's not a good look. It's too corporate. It's like it's not good. It does not go. It does not work with my sort of like dewy, healthy skin vibe.
No, I'm totally with you. And I know, my girl Gwyneth, she can do a red lip. So it's possible, but I guess that'll just be something we have to play with.
Yeah, there's very few people who could pull off the red lip and still look sort of barefaced, fresh, healthy. And when I think of who that person is, it's Carolyn Bissett Kennedy.
She's having a
Um,
moment.
she is having a moment right now, and I'm super excited for the documentary, but that's another episode, right?
Yeah.
Um, so that's a tough look though to pull off, I feel like.
Yep. No, I agree. So we've got our keepers. We know the things we love, and send me pictures, please, and I'll put them on a YouTube story. So then kind of the next kind of step of this is the tossing, right? And I think there's the actual tossing, which I think we could say of our days working in cosmetics, we know you're going to toss things if the color's gone funky, if it smells weird, if it's, just if it's lost its efficacy, if its consistency is weird. What else? You're going to toss sunscreens if they're over a year, even though I might not always do that. Um,
Anything clumpy.
yeah, clumpy, weird. Um, I don't know. And then I would say just if the mascara conversation for me, I get styes super easily. I wear mascara probably 3 times a month, like when I'm recording or doing some kind of shoot. That's it because my eyes are super sensitive.
Mhm.
Um, But that's one I just know if it's been in my bag too long, even if I haven't used it very much, I gotta let that one go. Are there any other toss kind of product tossing things that you can think of?
No, I don't think so. I think you covered it. And just anything that just doesn't suit you anymore.
Hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. Which I think kind of opens the door then for the sort of the metaphor of the closet of what do we need to toss,
Hmm.
right? And so I'll just kind of throw this out to you, like, have you noticed, or is there anything you can think of that's maybe like an attitude or a perception of yourself that you kind of got to let go of? Maybe it's something that doesn't serve you both physically and emotionally.
Hmm. Well, give me your example.
So for me, I was thinking about this idea of like day to night makeup. And I feel like when I worked more in the office, so 10 years ago, I felt like I had different looks for day to night. And this isn't like particularly bad, but I've just realized I don't need that anymore, right? Like the idea of like the way I look right now is the way I would go out to dinner with friends or my husband. I don't feel like I have to present a more glam me just because it's after 7. I don't know. So that's one that came to mind.
Okay. All right.
Um, I don't know. I maybe should be careful. I also love a little body glimmer, but
gets all over your stuff. I know what you mean. I just
Maybe that's
found
one that I could pare back. So I kind of thought of that as an example.
so pretty though.
I know, I think so
Especially like the
too.
gold, those rose gold. Like I have a
Girl,
Tom Ford one, and oh my God, it's fabulous.
love it on the little like collarbone.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Do you have any?
Yeah, I would say um, I'd like to be less lazy about my routine, right? Like how you see me now is how I present, sort of most days. I work from home. I'm not always on camera. So I really only, make the effort to do some sort of makeup routine if I know that I'm going to be on camera with somebody, or maybe I'm going out with some friends, or I'm going on a date night. Um, but I do wish, it kind of goes into the whole like when you look good, you feel good, right? And that goes with clothes and it goes with makeup too. Um, and I think that maybe I've gotten a little bit too lazy with the bare face, program every day.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go back to at least, putting a little bit of this on every day, maybe throwing on some blush and a little bit of mascara. Because those times where I do, get on a Zoom call with a client and then I realize like, oh, I need to be on and I haven't done anything with my face and I'm sitting there like I kind of wish I
Yeah.
did. I kind of wish I did something, like I'm
Yeah.
not comfortable looking at myself on the screen with nothing on. So I would say just maybe making a little bit more of an effort.
So, like, you feel like you want to kind of toss this idea that it's like, how would you present that in our metaphor? Like, you want to toss the idea that it's okay to always be supernatural?
Yeah, I guess. Like
Yeah.
I guess I would frame it as um just wanting to look, more presentable.
Hmm.
And um me not feeling okay with showing up like this on the regular.
Yeah, I hear you. And I relate to that too. And I feel like it started a little bit for me. I mean, just definitely switching jobs and not being out in front of people, you
Hmm.
know. For me, it's not really a COVID thing because I wasn't working full time during COVID. So, it's more of a being not a full time corporate person.
Hmm.
Um, but I do notice that if I am in my pajamas until 2 and haven't put on any makeup and, like have only used my Vaseline, I don't have the pep in my step that I'd like to.
Yeah, no, I feel the same exact way. I mean, when we were talking last time about routines and habits, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of it's the habit of getting up, getting dressed, putting my face on. It doesn't need to be, red lipstick and false eyelashes, but, just something to make me feel a little bit more energized and like ready for the day.
Do you have any struggles with kind of this idea of, I don't know, kind of like an obsession with youth? I'm not saying that well, but I kind of, for me, feel like that's the flip side and something that I want to be aware of is that I also want to be who I am and not try to be like compulsively checking out my face constantly. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, have you thought about that all? And it's different than I thought about my skin 10 years ago, you know?
Yeah. No,
It's definitely a new thought for me.
I think about it all the time. It's actually like bothering me a little bit. I feel like my sweet spot for feeling good about my youthful appearance, right? Like,
Hmm.
um, my sweet spot for that was probably 4 years ago. Like, I think that I was one of those people who I felt like um, I felt better and I looked better as I got older.
Hmm.
But now I'm starting to feel like it's turning the other way. And I'm like, I just want to go back to like 4 years ago. Like it felt great. My skin looked great. I felt good for my age. I felt good about how I looked for my age. And now I'm definitely feeling like way more self-conscious. I'm seeing more wrinkles. I'm seeing, the dryness. And I'm just like, how do I like how can I fix that? Right. Like I want something that's gonna fix that. And rather than just sort of embrace where I'm at and embrace my skin and embrace how I look in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely on my mind.
And it is tricky because there's so much that we can do now. And I feel like this could be a whole separate episode, right? In addition to kind of the topic at hand, which is cosmetics. Um, and that'll be our segue maybe into kind of the next, another conversation that we have, which is really around the more anything's invasive, right? From injectables to, and it kind of is next level cosmetics, you can wash it all off,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And so will you come back and we'll talk about that another time?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, perfect. Because I'd love to get into that. And that's really been on my mind too. And it's also hard. I will say this, I don't know if you can relate, but having younger daughters, having like my daughters have such amazing skin. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh, I'm so jealous of you. You know
I
what I mean?
know.
And just like, it's not just their faces, but their bodies and everything. And what a like weird thing to think, right? And at the same time, it's like this constant reminder of what was.
No, I
So that's been really
totally.
kind of interesting too.
I, I've I've looked at recently, I've looked at photos of myself, in my 20s. Actually came across one of you and I at one of your birthday parties, and I was like, man, we look so good. And we didn't even know it at the time. Like we
Right.
were so self-conscious about ourselves then for one reason or another. And I was like, if only we knew then, like how good we looked at that point in time,
Oh my gosh, 100%. I should have been wearing a bikini all the time,
all the
every
time.
day.
Yeah.
And people complain about like the high school girls and their short dresses. I'm like, why? Now's the time to wear it. There
Show
is
those
a
legs, baby.
small window. Wear the
Yeah.
short dress
Yes.
or the long shirt, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. No, I'm totally with you. Um,
Oh my gosh. So let's finish up with something that you want to try. What is something that you feel like would, you've kind of talked about conceptually trying to just,
mhm.
like put on your Laura Mercier every day and
Yes,
like do that.
which
Are
I will
there
do
any other
right now.
products or anything new that you've gotten you want to share?
Um, so I'm a huge fan of palettes, right? And
Of course.
I palettes to me are like the yellow skirt. So long story.
For Tracy at home, any Smartless viewers, for Tracy at home, Melissa went on a mission for a yellow skirt about a decade ago, and we're still talking about it.
Still talking about it, still looking for it. Damn those box services who gave me like, the top with the picture of the yellow skirt and didn't actually give me the yellow skirt. And we looked for that yellow skirt for I don't even know how many years, but so it became like the running joke. So palettes to me are like that. I don't know why they're so elusive. Like how
Mhm.
hard is it to just make a palette of coordinated colors? And you can kind of find like you can find lip palettes, you can find eye palettes, but you can't find the ones that have all of them together. And that is what I really am looking for. So if I find it, that's what I'm gonna be trying.
Yeah, well, I'll keep my eyes open. And I mean, I didn't touch on it, but I would say in the toss category for me is really eyeshadow.
mm,
I just don't use it anymore. I mean, like I can't tell you the last time I put on eyeshadow. So that is in my also try thing though, because I feel like I've gotten in my head a little bit that it's going to age me or you know what I mean? So I think I'm going to try to get back into that because I do have a beautiful NARS palette, girl, that is OG that does have eyes and cheeks. So I will be sure
okay.
to send you a picture. I don't know if we can still find it. Um, but yeah, doing a little more eye definition and just a little more drama might be fun a couple times a year.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to be trying out. over the next whatever, let's say next couple months, right? And we'll show off our look. And I like the smoothing
Yeah.
look.
Yeah, I definitely I need a little bit of highlighter, but you can see it has like a
Yeah.
nice finish without being too like cakey. Um and not too, sort of thick and heavy. And I don't like that matte look either.
Yeah.
So it's nice. But I think the other thing I'd like to try again is false eyelashes. They're so pretty, and I just don't do it because it takes so long sitting in the chair. Like I'm not patient enough for it. I mean, it's like a 2 hour commitment every time you do it, but oh my gosh, they look so good.
Oh my gosh. Well, I remember when you had them and they looked great and they
So
look
good.
great from on camera. They look great in person.
Mhm.
And so I just ordered hair extensions.
Ooh,
Uh-huh.
okay.
So we can talk about that too. I'm gonna get them in next month.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Um, but yeah, my hair is definitely so much thinner than it used to be. And anyway, we'll see. I took the plunge. So
Okay. I can't wait to see.
you get the eyelashes, I'll get the extensions. Between the two of us will be amazing. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Speaking of amazing, where is your sweater from? Because I love it.
Love Shack Fancy. Thank you.
You love Shack
You
Fancy.
know, that's my brand now
Yeah.
that I live in the
So
South.
pretty.
Oh, well, thank you so much, my friend, for joining. It's great
Awesome.
to see you.
You
We
too.
will put everything that we can that I remember. I'll just kind of highlight it, but we are not paid yet. Somebody pay us. But in the meantime, we're just trying to share the stuff that we love. Since we are not too young, but not too old, and can't wait to see you next time.